broadcast number 1371, August 26, 2024, 97 degrees on this day in 2013. And fairgoers arriving in 1964 and 1968 early in the morning would have encountered 44 degrees. Yeah.
Chilly.
Hail the flashlight king.
Hail you.
Oh, man, this thing is really slow today, Mike Weber. Holy cow, here we go.
You know,
here come the excuses.
Don't you even think about starting with me today. I got a short leash with all of you.
That was quick.
I'm pretty worried.
Well, with the exception of you.
And occasionally Kenny from the Krabby Coffee Shop.
That's a bad
sign. Your
sign.
flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and keeper of common sense. Your mayor, Joe Souchere.
You know what today's perfect for, Gumption County residents? Today's just a perfect day to go to get some hot ranch dressing in a baked housing or whatever.
Deep fried.
Dough, deep fried housing that holds the hot dressing, and you bite into that today, then you get immediately call a paramedic.
Delicious.
You have to admit,
Available at Lulu's.
this is horrible.
No, this is fine. This is summer. It gets humid occasionally.
What is wrong with you?
We'll probably have a thunderstorm tonight. Wash
You think
all
we got the
humid-
fuel?
Pardon? We got the fuel. We got fuel, and we'll wash all the humidity out of the air, and the rest of the fair will probably be cool.
This is the weather equivalent of when it snows in Dallas, Texas. We should be forced to stay home today.
No, this is, you've been gaslit so often. I mean, TV was in its infancy, say, in 1948. Well, I was looking up the records. 1948, every day at the fair was in the high 90s. Practically every day of the fair was in the high 90s.
Don't care about that. Wasn't here then.
Well, my point is that we've been gaslit to believe that a hot day is unusual. It's been this way for 200 years.
87 right now.
2,000 years. It's only 87. The record today is 97.
Once again, you're reading it wrong. We haven't been told to believe it is unreasonable.
No, it isn't.
It's always been unreasonable. Forever.
Oh, so back in 1948, it would have been unreasonable.
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
How are you, garage logicians?
Are you guys ready for your first guest of the week? Here
Already
at the Great
Is it
fighting?
one of those dull state troopers?
Oh, no. Dull is not a word I would use to describe our good friend, Lori Barghini.
Oh,
No, Lori and Julia show.
No.
I've heard you've been waiting for me.
Sit
Come on
down.
over and have a seat.
Yeah.
Where's the little
lady.
one?
Yeah, the
short
one is probably, watching Bridgerton or something.
What's your name, Lori?
Yeah, I'm the tall, the
your
whacked
name?
one, Lori.
Lori, and
Yeah.
you were on with Julia
That's right.
for many years.
22 to be
22
exact.
years, and you retired
Hi,
recently.
fellas.
You're the one I call Whacked from
Whacked,
the radio
yes,
team
you call
Whacked
me
and
Whacked,
Stacked.
Yes.
This is the tall one from the girls' show that was on the
The
FM
girls' show.
The
Oh, my
FM
gosh,
show,
listen
and
to
you said you wanted to come out to the fair.
I did. I
and
wanted
you've chosen
to see
a hell of a day.
You know what? I was already on TV today, so I'm already comfortable in my sweat.
Humble brag.
What were you on TV?
I was on Jason's show. I got a little sidekick job. All I
Really?
wanted to do was work the fair.
Really?
When
What
I
does your
quit the
hat say?
radio.
U.S. Army?
Yeah, U.S. Army. It's from the Fort Snelling BX. My husband gets these Panama thatched hats for like $10 out there.
Oh, cool, boy.
Yeah.
And what
I knew
shirt
you'd like a deal.
What shirt are you featuring?
I'm wearing a Jason pure polyester T-shirt.
Now,
Sexy.
Jason has
Jason on Fox.
on
sorry.
TV
Now,
Yeah,
your former radio station, before you guys were fired, did you hear what they did
We
today?
weren't fired, you guys. We really did Thelma and Louise it.
Did you hear what they've done today?
What?
They sent
They sent 'em
the
home.
air talent home because it's too hot.
Get out of town.
Yes,
They
yes,
did
yes,
not. Oh, you
yes.
can tell we're gone. We
See.
would have never gone home,
No,
Joe.
you would have put up a fight.
Oh, I
So
would
that
like
booth
give
is
me
open.
a fan for my crotch and I'm fine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Now you tell me.
I
tell
can't believe
Here,
that. What a bunch of wussies.
Use Joe's face.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly right.
Were you at the fair? Did you guys do your show at the fair for 22 years?
We did our show for 21 years. Well, actually 20 because we had COVID us. But
Yep.
the first year we started, 2002. They didn't trust us. We were so
I wouldn't have either.
rustic, shall
Yeah,
we say.
right.
So we didn't do a fair until 2003, and then they put us in a gazebo.
Oh, boy.
And no one could see us, and then we just had people yelling at us.
But you grew to really enjoy it.
Oh, the fair is I didn't want to quit radio, but they wouldn't let me just work 2 weeks
What
here.
about it did you enjoy while you were broadcasting?
Well, it's kind of like going to adult day camp if you work out here.
Yeah.
You know, you can have a beer at whatever time and meet people, and you run into friends.
Yep.
I don't know. It's surreal in the best way possible.
May I share my favorite My Talk 1071 State Fair moment, Joe? As a former on-air member of the
That's
team,
right.
we had to camp out here for a weekend. It was the very first ever project down and dirty.
We stayed 48 hours out here
This
in
was
a camper overnight.
13 years ago, because it was the summer before my oldest son was born. We were all staying in the camper. We were all hammered off our gourd, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and I looked right at Jason Mathen and said, "Oh, my God, we're still in the trailer."
Yeah.
Because the whole air staff got their drink on that night.
And let me tell you, Joe, it is creepy going into one of those bathrooms at 3 a.m. with the cicadas. And it's just, there's a hatchet murderer possibly somewhere. I mean, it's got shades of Jason. Even though we had a St. Paul police, it was scary out here, but it was a very exciting 48 hours.
Okay, well, I'm glad you enjoyed that.
Yeah, I know.
Joe, you ever want to sleep out at the fair?
No.
What's your
No.
price, Joe? What's your price?
Boy.
Name it.
Let me think about it.
48 hours.
It would take quite a
Okay.
sum, I
Take
think.
some thought.
Take quite a sum. Now, will you visit the fair regularly this year, or is this it?
I was here yesterday for Blake Shelton. He wore a velvet long sleeve shirt, which
Oh.
was a big mistake.
Sounds like something Patrick would wear.
Just sweating like crazy, and the audience was sweating along with him. We
Right.
felt wet. He was so
Right.
sweaty, but it was a good show. I'm going to Matchbox 20. I'm going to the oldie show tonight.
Yep.
And I'm out here, being a sidekick.
So you're going to wander around all day. Are you going to go home before you go to the show?
Tonight this afternoon I have to go wrangle my husband.
I
He's
see.
feeling very tentative about the heat,
Well,
like a typical guy.
Yeah, this is awful.
I love it. It feels so good.
It's wonderful. This is summer. We get about
Yeah.
3 days a year like this, and
Thank
that's
you.
it.
I like
it's
tropical
perfect.
Minnesota.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
And it'll crack with a good storm tonight. I don't know if we'll get it. The Twin Cities has gotten off pretty easy this summer without any serious storms.
Yeah, I would hate to have a tornado land here, knock on wood.
The problem is tornadoes now hit developments that never existed when tornadoes used to hit.
Look at how you know this. See, this is the kind of
Have
stuff
you ever
that
been
we
asked a
never
serious
talked about.
question?
No, I really haven't. I was going to ask you, if you yelled about anything today,
No,
but I thought,
no.
I bet you didn't.
I have
like
not.
the fair.
We just started.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, give me time, huh?
You want to talk about walls?
Oh,
Do I?
God.
Well,
Actually, even better. Kenny.
Harris Republicans just deal with it. We just for the sake of everything.
The reason we booked
our
her-
country's mental health.
Joe, the reason we booked Lori today is she wanted to give her thoughts on Trump. Here live at
No, I did not,
Oh,
Joe,
okay.
because I like you. I don't want to hear it.
I have some Walls news that you might be interested
All
in.
right, give it to me.
Right. Well, we learned that he misrepresented his background after a Chamber of Commerce in Nebraska had to send him a letter in 2006 claiming that, Tim, you're claiming you won an award that we never gave you. When Walls first ran for Congress in Minnesota, he touted on his campaign website that he received an award from the Nebraska Chamber of Commerce in 1993 for his work with the business community.
Good Lord, this
Yeah.
is a nothing burger.
Well, I'm not done yet.
All right.
I think there might be a punchline coming.
According to a 2006, see, let me stop right there. I think
this up.
the United States has become full of people who say everything's a nothing burger.
Well,
What
no.
would stir you to some seriousness?
Well, okay. I mean, we have somebody who's been lying about a stolen election. What about that big lie?
Well, that's
I mean,
also
that
covered.
is one that is really driving
Here
everybody
we go.
crazy.
Here we go. Just so you know, Lori, I know you probably don't listen every day, but Joe isn't a big Trump fan either.
I'm sorry. I'm so glad I couldn't hear that. He's a good whisperer, your guy over here, John Heidt.
No, you wanted to hear that.
I did.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not a Trump fan.
Oh, you're not. Yeah, I'm
No.
so glad. I
I'm
didn't think you
also
could
not
be.
a Harris fan.
Listen, we have
I'm
what
political.
we have.
I know.
Yeah.
It's pathetic. Well, you blew this.
Did I? I'm sorry.
See you at the fair.
See you at the fair.
I'll never be invited back, you guys.
What
I'm
did
going to
you
have to
expect?
beg and just
I
show
know,
up
I know.
Until next year.
until next year.
Anyway, he had to admit that, no, I never won that award.
Joe,
he took
you
it
know
off
what?
his site.
I would like
It's
your-
okay. It's okay. I don't care. It's fine.
Okay, good. I'm glad because I have a thing for you that I'd love you to do. Okay,
right.
do you know Richard Bong?
Yeah.
The
I was
ace-
just over his bridge on Friday night.
Thank you. Why isn't there a biopic of Richard Bong, the ace of aces
Absolutely.
from World War II?
Absolutely.
Superior, Wisconsin. He has an incredible story. How can we get this movie made?
Well, he has a bridge
Yes, he
and
does,
an
and a
airfield.
museum.
And
and
an airfield.
Yeah.
And an airfield. That's
Right.
right.
I don't know what to tell you about the biopic.
Okay, well, I just thought you might know, like Polad, who has River Road Productions.
Right.
Bill,
I mean, you would have a better chance there than I
should
would.
I get on that?
Yes,
Should I
yes.
work on that on
Yes.
behalf of Garage Logic? Would
Yes.
you guys like to see our Richard Bong movie?
Yes,
Hell
they would.
yeah.
I think it'd
Yeah.
be great.
Thank you for joining us today.
You're the best. You're the best.
We need
Thank
to
you.
mention, too, Lori's appearance here at the Great Minnesota Get Together is brought to us by our friends at Donnelly Stucco and Exteriors right here on the front
You
porch.
brought a sponsor. Thank you.
Yeah.
Really?
Thank you.
I just
was
figured
gonna-
it was worth a mention.
Well, I was going to tell you about that.
No, it's okay.
No,
we
I
gotta
got
get
it
the
right
mention
here.
in, huh?
No, it's very nice of you to drop by.
God, Joe, thank you.
Yeah,
This was a
anytime.
highlight of her career.
Anytime.
Go like that 'cause
All right.
it's so hot. We'll just go like that.
Uh-huh. Yeah. All right.
Now for Kenny.
Kenny.
Donnelly Stucco and Exteriors is your complete exterior contractor and restoration company, and they're the oldest in the business, which is why they're trusted. They'll take care of storm damage. They take care of small things to big things, small patches to full home facelifts, interior plaster repair and refinish. This stuff's an art. Plaster and stucco is an art, and they have maintained it for more than 100 years with high-quality construction solutions for the Twin Cities metro area. If you want the best, go with the people with the most experience and over 100 years of experience with Donnelly Stucco. Go to DonnellyStucco.com or call 612-722-4200 and Donnelly Stucco will line you up with a free estimate. It's right here. It's coming right here.
Why don't we have
Have him sit right there next to Kenny.
Yes. Sir, it was late
Jesse, are you on duty?
I am.
All right.
Send you a DM. Do you want to wear a hat? I can, yes.
Kenny.
Kenny.
Kenny,
Chris turn.
I need an ad from you here.
Okay, all right.
John, will you strum a few just so I know I got you? All right.
Good?
Yep.
Sure.
We ready?
Yes.
Soul Man, you ready? Just give
Here
me
we
an
go.
ad.
Here we go.
Rolling in 3, 2, 1.
Not just a newsman, but our live state fair bumper guitar player, Mr. John Heidt. We're joined by state trooper.
We're first
Oh,
gonna
we
hear
got
from
to do
Olson.
Kenny first.
We're going to confirm with Sergeant Jesse Grabow that the contents of my emergency kit in my vehicle is correct. I carry a candy bar, a tow strap, jumper cables, and seafoam motor treatment and Bugs Be Gone. That's what every American should have in their vehicle at all times. Seafoam motor treatment, so you can give your daily driver a shot every now and then to keep him or her happy. And of course, Bugs Be Gone, so you can see where you need to get to, Joe. Get, G-I-T, get.
Right.
The Seafoam Bugs Be Gone safely removes all organic crud, bugs, bird poop, road grime, brake dust, throw up from some of those guys you pull over for drunk driving. Takes care of all that. You can use it on anything without worry, including mowers, string trimmers, boats, motorcycles, doesn't matter. Been hearing from GLers that Bugs Be Gone is so popular that retail outlets are running out. Have no fear. You can find out where to buy it or even order it online by going to bugsbegoneworks.com. That's bugsbegoneworks.com. Another fine product from Seafoam. Bugs Be Gone.
Sergeant Jesse Grabow from the State Patrol is joining us. Jesse, is this State Fair Patrol Day?
It is, as a matter of fact. Always the first Monday of the Minnesota State Fair is our day.
You got the Model A on display?
We do not. That's one of our vehicles that did not get brought here this year.
Too hot for Model A?
It probably was, but we did get the 1930 Harley Davidson motorcycle
Wonderful. How long have you been a trooper?
here. Almost 27 years now.
Why? Why did you want to be one?
So for me, it's a family thing. I'm following in the footsteps of my father and my grandfather. They were both state troopers. So that's, I guess, how it started.
Really?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
So a little town called Barnesville, Minnesota.
Sure.
Up near Moorhead.
Yeah.
Yeah, right off I-94.
And does traffic tend to get more aggressive in weather like this?
You know, it can, but I promised myself on days like today, you will never hear me complain about the heat because I think of those days that we have in the winter.
You're one of those
zero
guys.
visibility. So
I'm not going to complain either.
So
See,
You get two a year like this.
I am under the belief that the state should be shut down on days like this. We should be forced to stay home.
Are you on duty down there talking to the fairgoers?
I am. We got a large display of all our different things of equipment and all that, and yes, just a real nice meet and greet for everybody to come through.
Is there one central state headquarters for the state patrol, or are there satellite control offices?
So we have a central headquarters, which is here in St. Paul,
Yep.
and then the state patrol is broken down into districts. I believe it's 11 different districts throughout the state of Minnesota. So, for example, where I'm at, out in west central Minnesota, would be like Detroit Lakes would be the headquarters there.
Okay.
Correct.
Are you ever on the walls duty?
Occasionally, when they come into your area, yes. So,
Okay.
yeah, troopers in that area can get asked to help with our governor detail team.
Because he's staying at East Cliff, the University of Minnesota house on River Boulevard, and that is surrounded by law enforcement.
Sure.
I suppose since he became a VP nominee.
Well, yeah, in State Patrol, we always do provide security for the governor's detail. So,
Right.
yes.
Right.
I have a couple of questions for you. You working up in the Fargo-Moorhead area, out on the windy plains, why is it that in the dead of winter, when the wind's blowing 80 miles an hour and we've got drifts across the road, virtually everybody is in the ditch except the State Patrol? What are you guys and gals doing differently than the civilians, the general public are doing? What's up there?
Just taking your time.
That's all it takes.
You got to take your time.
Driving carefully.
Yeah. Yeah. How many of your cruisers are rear-wheel drive?
Well, nowadays everything is actually pretty much all-wheel drive.
All of
so,
them are.
Yeah.
Even
yeah.
the sedans.
Right, and I just actually picked up a new squad car yesterday.
Nice.
So, yeah, I went from
What
the
kind?
Durango. I went from a Charger to a Durango.
Oh.
Really?
What kind? What motor you got in that thing?
It's got the Hemi.
Oh, so you'll be able to spool it up. Cool. Cool. All right. I'm guessing you don't see the amount of drunk drivers that we do down here. Joe, Jesse and I met, or Sergeant Grabow, excuse me, because he follows my Twitter account, and I have an amazing Twitter account. I'm probably the best follow on Twitter.
Absolutely.
And, of course, I follow him, and that's how we kind of got to know each other. You don't see the amount of drunk drivers down up there that we do down here, do you?
Number-wise, no. I mean, obviously the population is part of it. Has just got more people, more potential for things to happen, such as DWI arrests. And but we do have our issues out there, and just all over Minnesota. We have seen an increase in our fatal crashes here, going the wrong direction. We've been making progress for many years, but then 2020 happened, and our numbers seem to keep going up each year. And it's something we're trying to figure out what can we do to save more lives.
I don't like you talking about that because I know what you're going to say. You want to lower the speed limit when the rest of us want it to be 85.
Well, I don't know if that, because we've had the speed limits go up on our regular 2-lane roadways. It's up to 60. It's not that.
Yeah.
But if we can just get people to slow down, that's just it. Drive good common sense, and then, of course, drive sober. We're seeing, alcohol, controlled substance, that type of thing. But of course, just getting everybody to wear their seatbelts and to pay attention, stay off these things, the devices.
So that's pretty weird. You pull somebody over, they roll down the window. It's like Cheech and Chong's, and you can smell the weed from 10 feet away. What do you do then?
Well, you just do the same thing. You got to go through your questions. I mean, or do they seem like they're not influenced? I mean, it's the same thing, because people always ask, like, well, is there? Obviously, it's the clues that the person's displaying, right? I mean, it's just are they acting like they're impaired? I mean, that's a big part of it, and that comes through training, experience, all these things. I mean, and it becomes very obvious, I think, for anybody that's had training experience, especially when you're the sober run around those people. So
if you pull me over and you suspect me, the first thing I'm going to say to you is ZYXWVUTSRQONM and right up to A.
That's impressive.
Do it backwards, because that's one of the standard
He's
questions.
had to do
right?
that quite a bit in his life.
he's
many
had practice.
That's a standard everyday question, right?
Yeah, we get asked. Oh no, we do not, because I'm not going to have somebody do something that I can't do. So no, it is not.
Jesse, I'm going to tell you something I told the guys and see if you agree with it. I've noticed a change in driving. In this sense, people are pulling out in front of you in ways they did not used to. They're pulling out in front of you when they don't have as much room as they did years ago.
And then they don't spool it up.
Am I imagining that?
I think you might be right, because it's a number of crashes where somebody fails to yield the right of way. I'm like, what are they doing? Are they distracted? I mean, are they on the device, just not? And that's another thing. So Minnesota, we have a hands-free law. You can be on your phones, but you got to keep your hands free. But at the same time, your hands are free. Is your mind free? Is it clear? And that's just it. I think there's that distraction.
I have my doubts.
You might be right, and I think that's that cognitive distraction. Your mind gets elsewhere, even though you think you got two hands on the wheel, but still, is the mind focusing on driving?
I can't tell you how many times in the outskirts I've missed my exit because something's going on up here, and you just drive right by it.
You ever find yourself like driving somewhere new for maybe you've never been to this area, and all of a sudden you're like, turn down your radio? You ever do that? And like,
Sure.
And then your kids are like, Dad,
I got to
why'd
turn
you
it down to
the
find an address.
Well, that's just it. My kids are like, what are you doing, Dad? I'm like, well, just kind of clearing your mind, I guess, focusing.
I turned down the radio in order to not get lost.
So
people used to turn down the radio when Joe and Rook came on the air.
Hey,
Play it fair, play it fair.
Yeah, I can. What Kenny came on the air, I can hear the radios clicking up.
Yeah.
What's the line?
Right, that's what
So before I started doing traffic, like every good American, I pretty much hated troopers because I didn't realize that you guys essentially are babysitters and helpers here in the metro. All you do is help dumbbells out on a daily basis. And it's really amazing, and it's really changed my opinion about what you guys do. And from my perspective, watching the cameras, you don't bother with speed enforcement whatsoever. In the Twin Cities, from what I've seen, your main goal is to keep the flow going. Move crashes to the side, take care of the flat tires, the out of gas, all the idiots on the road. All you guys do is babysit.
Well, it gets busy. There's a lot of different dynamics. I mean, I can assure you there's still plenty of enforcement going on down here because speeding is an issue and all these things. But at the same time, the flow of traffic, as you mentioned, is so important to keep things going because we get those backups, we got more crashes, secondary crashes, and that's not what we want to see. We don't want to see people getting hurt or something worse.
Have you ever been involved in law enforcement, a situation that had nothing to do with being a state trooper?
What do you mean?
Bank robbery or shooting.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the one thing, especially, law enforcement even here, but even in outstate, you really depend on the other agencies you work with, the local police
you're
departments,
expected
the sheriffs.
to do that, right?
Oh, certainly. I mean, we rely on them. We help each other out.
Yeah.
It's a team effort, no doubt.
Yeah.
I bet you see a lot of violations when you're just driving around in your regular unmarked vehicle that's not a state patrol vehicle, don't you?
I do.
That's got to be frustrating.
You know, I just actually got back from a family trip. We went out east, went out the East Coast, and I got back on the Turnpike. First time turnpike driving from Pennsylvania through Chicago. I feel really good about Minnesota drivers now. I really do, compared to out there. It blew my mind. It was aggressive. The distracted driving was gone because they have hands-free laws too. But it was so blatant. It was frustrating. And being a parent of 3 boys, my oldest is driving now. He just got his driver's license. Just set the example. And they're like, hey, buddy, you see that? Don't do that.
Yeah. Well, always we want to wish you to be safe and good luck. You guys do great work. And,
thank you so much, really.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. You know, we had a pretty mild winter last year.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen this year?
Yeah. Well, if we get as much snow this winter as we've had rain this summer,
Right.
we're going to get 12 feet of snow.
So
You mean a pretty mild winter outside of a Hennepin County prosecutor going after a trooper? You mean outside of that?
Outside
It's
of
pretty
that,
mild.
yeah.
Well, that's another thing. I see so much good that you guys do, and you only make headlines when something goes wrong. And it's really, really frustrating from my standpoint. It really is. And I don't know if you want to comment on that or not. But it's got to be tough going to work like that when everybody's giving you the stink eye.
Well, you know, I think we're so fortunate. I mean, we get support from you, from everybody. We're just, you know, fortunate to serve, and that's what we're going to do day in and day out, morning, noon, and night.
Thanks,
Thanks,
sir.
Jesse.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And it's State Patrol Day. It's over, where is that, Jesse? What do I call that area? You can go down and see the old Harley and talk to the
I
guys.
thought it was up on machinery.
Yep, we're up on the
Oh,
north
you're
end
up
there.
there this
Yep,
year?
Yep.
Used to be down here.
Underwood and Murphy. Yeah, years ago it did.
Okay.
It's moved. So yeah, we've been up there for a few
Been
years.
a long time since
So-
I've been at the fair.
Get around. Let's go.
Say, I
guys.
want to remind you that EcoFun is also up on Machinery Hill, and they've got some great state fair deals. Go up there, you buy a Bentelli or Scootstar electric bike, get a second one for 50% off. This is a hell of a deal. Buy one and get 50% off on all Tao Youth ATVs. Buy one, get 50% off on Italica scooters in stock. There's not going to be a better deal. This is fantastic. And they've got snowblower attachments for ATVs. You can go up and look at them, and it'll make you think you're cooler. And side-by-sides, all in-stock Vespa scooters at Forest Lake are on sale at $1,000 to $2,000 off. There's no doubt about it. This is the best time to buy your dream scooter or your electric bike, because EcoFun's running a great deal up on Machinery Hill at the State Fair. EcoFun Motorsports is in Forest Lake / Columbus on Highway 97, just immediately west of the interstate. And also a Burnsville EcoFun on the Service Road of Life near County Road 42. Something without tremendous...
John, are you ready? Ready, Johnny?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, am I? No,
Yep.
I'm not. Sorry. Now I am.
And this portion of Garage Logic Live at the Minnesota State Fair is brought to us by our friends over at Dino's, the best spot to hang out at the Minnesota State Fair.
Thank you, Johnny Heidt.
Soch, I am happy to report to you that the rooms in the motel rooms in the Courtyard by Marriott, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Roseville, so cold you could hang meat in there. My room right now is about 55 degrees, just the way I like it. And that's just one of the many reasons why I always stay at the Courtyard by Marriott in Roseville whenever I'm in the Twin Cities. I love to stay there because they have everything I need. There's restaurants and grocery stores, everything close by, or I can do what I did over the weekend, eat breakfast in the bistro downstairs and then come back after 4 p.m. and have myself a meal and a couple drinks right there in the lobby. But it's close to everything, just a short freeway drive to downtown Minneapolis, downtown St. Paul, or up to Blaine to the National Sports Center. You can catch a shuttle bus right outside the doors of the Courtyard by Marriott in Roseville to get you down to the State Fair here. I always use the laundry. I have a refreshing beverage in the lounge. And we've got a special going for GLers running through next spring. GLers can get 20% off a weekend getaway anytime now through the end of March. All you have to do is go to garagelogic.com and click the link, Courtyard by Marriott.
Thank you. We're joined by independent party candidates Chase Oliver running for president, Rebecca Whiting running for U.S. Senate in Minnesota. Chase, you're not from Minnesota. Here we go.
There we go. No, I am not from Minnesota. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, but I'm happy to be up here and enjoying the state fair.
And Rebecca, you're up Bemidji way?
Yep, Bemidji. Libertarian Party, actually.
I'm sorry, Libertarian Party. And Chase, you've been called by Rolling Stone magazine as the most influential libertarian in America. What exactly does that mean?
Well, you know, that was the quote given to me when I caused the runoff in the race between Herschel Walker and Raphael Warnock. It was the most expensive U.S. Senate race in history. They spent $250 million, and for about the cost of a used car, I forced a runoff in that most expensive race in history. So it kind of got me a lot of name recognition, and we're pretty good at putting the name out there for punching above our weight, doing a lot with very little.
How far is this country from ever electing a libertarian?
You know, I think we're getting closer and closer to that. I think more and more voters are fully not identifying as a Democrat or Republican anymore. Over half the voters out there identify as independent of the two major parties. And I think voters want to see more choices on their ballot. They want to see candidates that more accurately reflect their lives and their values. And we're just not getting that from a two-party system that pulls us further and further back.
Yeah, I
don't think voters are going to build it up.
Neither Trump nor Harris reflect anything I'm interested in. There's not a chance in hell I'm interested in either of them. I feel terribly politically lonely. Rebecca, you're a war vet.
I am, yes.
Two tours?
2 tours are at Combat Medic.
And you helped your family build a farm in Bemidji?
From scratch, actually. When we moved in there, it was just woods, and we took down every tree, built every building from the ground up.
And you're running against Amy Klobuchar.
Yes.
I don't think she can match your service history.
No, I don't think so.
No. And how's your campaign going?
It's going really good, actually, because there's a lot of people that are just frustrated with what they've been handed. Mm-hmm. And then in my case, like the last time Amy Klobuchar ran a race, she won by, it was like 23% against her Republican opponent. And so that's an opportunity for me because the Republicans don't have a strong candidate running against Amy Klobuchar even this year.
Right.
And I can go into this race knowing full well what the odds are and how stacked against me they are, and then approach this campaign with the gloves off.
The candidate is Royce White.
Yep.
Which I don't understand what the Republicans were thinking. He's not a legitimate candidate. If you get 5% of the vote, would you get major party status?
Oh, well, actually, what happened is that in 23, the Democrats changed the rules because they had the legislative majority.
Yeah.
And so now it's 8%. We would have to get.
8%.
Yeah, they wanted to take it up to 10%. That was the original law that they tried to get through committee. But they were gracious enough to drop it down and only ask for 8%.
What would you do differently than Amy?
I would stop voting to fund all the foreign wars.
Okay.
And she ran initially on criticism of the Iraq War in 2006. In 2006, I was in Baghdad during the surge, on the ground as a medic, living out their decisions in D.C. in real time.
Right.
So she got into office, and she has just funded every Ukraine, Israel, whatever it is. And there's been a lot. And it's not just Iraq and Afghanistan. There was Yemen. We've been involved in every conflict in the world since my entire adult life.
Chaser, you're also invested in the idea that let's withdraw some of the war activity.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I got my start in politics, while Rebecca was out fighting in Iraq, I was out in the streets protesting against sending people like her to Iraq because I thought good people didn't have to go fight in these wars overseas. It wasn't in the best interest of the United States. And I'm a real skeptic of militarism around the world. I think we should have a strong military, certainly. If we're attacked, we should be able to defend ourselves. But I don't think the best way to export our values is with the bomb, the bullet, and the drone. I think we can do it much better through free trade, voluntary cooperation with each other, and diplomacy. It used to be the rational thing to say we're going to be a diplomat first and then use militarism as a last resort, and that seems to have gotten caught up and kind of reversed itself somewhere along the process. And as a libertarian, I want to see that going back to focusing on diplomacy.
Well, when I look at the landscape, who in God's name would be the diplomats?
Exactly. Well, we have to be the diplomat. We have to be the ones that tell our allies that peace has to be an option. We can't continue to be exporting these huge billion-dollar military projects around the world. And I would challenge someone like Donald Trump, who claims he didn't start any new wars. Well, he maybe didn't start any new wars, but he sold $150 billion or some odd of weapons to the Saudis, who committed a war in Yemen. So he is still committing a war foreign policy, and we need to have a reverse course there.
Are you guys, is there a booth here for the Libertarian Party at the fair?
Down Nelson Street,
Okay.
kind of towards the dairy barn from here.
Are you getting activity?
Oh, yeah. There's
Yeah.
a lot of people stopping by.
Yeah, and I encourage anybody who's hearing this right now to stop by, talk to us, ask us questions about policy, ask us questions about how we would run, both in our respective races, and we hope to earn your vote this November.
Now, Rebecca, you stay in Minnesota to run. You're not leaving the state, but
Right.
Chase, I imagine you're traveling all over.
Oh, yeah. Well, after Minnesota, I head back home for a crisp 24 hours to do all my laundry, and then I'm
Yeah.
on the way to Knoxville, Tennessee to campaign in there. And then we're going to be having me all over the place. Me and my running mate, Mike Tremont, are staying very busy. I've actually traveled to all 50 states campaigning. I'm the first presidential candidate that we've ever been able to find on record that's campaigned in all 50 states. Only 4 sitting presidents have visited all 50, so I got that energy to get out there and meet as many voters as possible.
And you're both young. How old are you?
I'm 39. I will be 39 on Election Day, half Donald Trump's age. Would have been less than half of Joe Biden's, but c'est la vie. He is no longer running.
Rebecca, you're a young woman. How old are you?
That's secret. But I was told actually that you were going to ask about the cylinder index. I feel like that's a more important number.
I would like to know your cylinder index.
Well, I'll tell you my age first. It's 43.
Yeah, okay.
So,
you're young too.
Yeah. Yep.
What's your cylinder index?
Well, you should tell me what yours is first.
Well, now I'm urban. And that always impacts the cylinder index. Chase, the cylinder index is the way self-esteem can be measured by counting the number of cylinders you have, lawnmowers and cars and whatever. Mine is not my age anymore. It was my age, but I'm below my age. I think I'm at about 52.
Okay, well, that's respectable.
Yeah, where are you?
61.
61's not bad. You're above your age.
Yeah, a little bit.
And your husband, I would imagine, is not 61.
No, he's younger than I am.
Okay, so he's safe. So you got a good cylinder index.
Yep.
And you can count stuff on the wall. Dead cylinders from a lawnmower on a shelf. They count.
Well, I stopped, so I didn't actually count all that. I just counted the working running vehicles.
You can count everything. Chase, given your schedule, I got to think you got a pathetic Seattle.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm suffering from cylinder envy over here or whatnot. I live in the city of Atlanta, not a lot of yard for me to have a lawnmower, so I think our cylinder count is 10 because I got my car and the Jeep. So it is a pathetic cylinder count compared to those of you folks up here in Minnesota, I'm sure. My apologies, but I gotta say we got some great peaches and we got Coca-Cola and lots of great stuff down in Atlanta. Just not a lot of need for a lot of cars because there's nowhere to park them.
Where does the Libertarian Party stand on what I have my suspicions about, the Green New Deal?
Well, I can tell you right now, I don't want to see government kind of facilitating those things. I think if we want green energy, consumers can demand it and providers can provide it. We don't need this huge government structure telling people what to spend on and what to buy. They can do that themselves. Let's trust the free market. I trust the individual decisions that all these people out here are going to make a heck of a lot more than I trust the central planning of 435 members of Congress or the people in your state house. I don't know about you. I trust my neighbors a little bit more than professional politicians.
Right. Rebecca, where do you stand?
I understand that trying to take down an old maple tree with an electric chainsaw is a task that's impossible. So
Right.
if the market, like you said, I would follow Austrian economists. So like if you haven't heard of that, go Google it. Murray Rothbard, Ludwig von Mises. If you want to know more, go Google those names.
All right.
But so the free market, if it, like I said, if there's a need for it, the people will ask for it, and then the market can then provide the needs. And so we should not be asking the government to fix our needs for us, or worse, mandate a problem that doesn't exist.
There apparently has been no need for electric vehicles because the manufacturers can't sell them. The market does not want them.
Yeah, I think a lot of that also is, here's the thing. If you think it's a green vehicle, if you're plugging it into a coal-fired power plant, like how green are you really being? You're just actually pulling a lot of heavy metals from the earth to build the lithium batteries that are being created for these vehicles.
It's terrible.
We can do much better, and, I think, again, we're going to find those solutions in the future because the market will provide them, not because government will give it. Government gave billions of dollars of subsidies to electric car manufacturers.
Right.
And you can't blame them for taking the money on the table, but we got to keep taking the money off of the table and letting them have to build these vehicles for themselves and develop these technologies. And it'll be a heck of a lot better than whatever the government gives us.
Well, I wish you both luck, and thanks for stopping by. And you can talk to fairgoers up at the Libertarian
Yep. We'll
booth
be there.
here at the State Fair. Chase Oliver, is it? Chase Oliver.
Yes, sir.
And Rebecca Whiting.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
I want to tell you that I'm going to tell you something here, Reeves.
You know what I bet you're going to tell me about, Joe? Here at the Minnesota State Fair, what's the best fair food on a stick?
That's not on the list today.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Yeah.
It is?
In fact, I know someone
Pronto Pups.
who stopped out here. His very first step, he looked at the newsman and myself, and he said, all right, where do I go get one of those GD pups here at the fair? So off he went. He wandered off.
Rook, there's 8 Pronto Pup locations. The Carnes family have had Pronto Pup at the State Fair since 1947. It's the original State Fair food on a stick and the only Garage Logic food on a stick. Where is the nearest, from this stage, you're facing west, where is the nearest Pronto Pup booth?
I didn't pace it off, but there is one right by the bridge.
That's right.
Where
Yep.
you go to the across to the grandstand, and then there's one just on the corner of the that's not the food building, but whatever they call this building down here.
The beer building.
There's a Pronto Pup booth right there. So there's
Wonderful.
two not far away.
We
So-
call that foam in the runway next to the booth.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, it's right
Yep.
there. It's a Pronto Pups, and Rook likes them because it's the dough is different. It's corn. No, it's
no,
not corn.
no, it's flour.
Corn's the other
It's a
one.
flour mix,
It's
yeah.
a flour deal.
That's why Pronto Pups taste so much better than a regular corn dog.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Wiener done in a bun. Wiener done in a bun.
And this portion of Garage Logic is brought to you by our friends at Pronto Pup, sponsoring the Such on a Stick at the Minnesota State Fair.
We'll let them play a little bit here.
Woke up this morning.
And the furnace didn't work. Welter Heating. Johnny, thank you very much
You're
for
welcome.
that beautiful piece of music. WelterHeating.com is a website that you will get a wealth of information. The Welter family, generation after generation after generation, I think we're up to 4 generations now. They have the know-how. They have seen the changes in the heating and cooling equipment. And if your AC is on the fritz, they've got 24/7 emergency service, and their trained techs know exactly what they're doing. Why does Welter advertise in Garage Logic? Well, they're garage logicians first and foremost. They're very busy. They don't really have to advertise, but they want to remind people that they've got over 100+ years of experience. So they want to remind you, garage logicians, you can trust them. They're going to be trustworthy with you, and they're going to be completely out in the open. You don't do that long when you're taking advantage of people. And the Welter family, Rick and the whole crew, do a great job. Go to their website, welterheating.com. Don't wait until it's too late, and start thinking about that heating unit. It's coming up, welterheating.com.
Are there any Maple Grove residents today from GL?
Maple Grove.
Maple Grove.
Yeah,
There's a couple. Yeah.
Yeah. Center.
Well, you'll be pleased to know that you'll have a choice this fall on the ballot. We have a furry running in Maple Grove. Yeah, right. And his name is Clark Macbeth. He's a city council candidate, and he identifies as a furry. I believe he goes by the name Metro Mutt.
Well, that would, if that furry gets in office, that would kind of elevate the meetings, wouldn't it?
The way things are going, I'm thinking, why not?
Come on.
Is he a full-time furry or just weekends, evenings?
Well, he takes an animal-like persona. A fury will create an identity, often in the image of a dog or cat.
Yeah, I know what a furry is.
Yeah, and then wear elaborate, exaggerated costumes in the likeness of those animals.
Yeah.
In the Maple Grove City Council election, the top 2 finishers will win seats on the council. There are 8 candidates in the race. 2 of them will win, and I'm thinking the way things are going, why not have a furry?
Wait,
represent
there's 2.
you?
Oh,
in
not
fact,
2 furries,
if he
2
ever comes
candidates.
to the fair, I would love to have him as a guest. Clark
Do they
McBeth-
speak when they're in costume?
I don't know if you could handle that,
He's
Joe.
31. He does not have a campaign website, and apparently is running strictly through a YouTube channel and an account on the
Serious candidate.
the left-leaning social media platform Blue Sky. I don't know what that is.
Is that his calling card or what?
He thinks he's the most qualified candidate for the Maple Grove City Council, the Minneapolis suburb that is Maple Grove could have a furry on its city council because our local politics have done too little for too long, and he's going to solve it.
Have you two from Maple Grove heard of him? He's not your son or a nephew or anything like that. Not a
closely related
cousin's kid, nothing like that.
Wasn't that the convention Royce ran into in Phoenix? Wasn't that a furry convention?
Don't think it was Phoenix, but yes, he did run into a furry convention. I don't know where. This guy is very strong on abortion, which I imagine is a major problem in Maple Grove, and he would be able to take care of that.
What about like other things like leash laws and dog parks?
Well, he can forge an allegiance to the furry community.
That's helpful.
See, if you've got a lot of furries in Maple Grove that feel that they haven't been
adequately
included
represented
enough, then you've got this guy to represent the furry.
Is there a meeting place?
Community.
Do they bar?
Dog park.
Dog house.
Dog park. Okay, that's good.
But here, I'm serious now. Macbeth, if you're listening or your furry people are listening and you come to the fair, stop by and see us. I would love to have you as a guest. I'm serious. I would the way things are going, Macbeth, I'm figuring you're no different.
Jump
than
on
anybody
in.
else.
The water's
Come
warm.
on in. Come on in.
The water's
Got half
fine.
a shot.
He's probably more financially competent than Walls.
There's a 100% chance that he's got a 50% chance.
No,
How's that work?
Well, 50,
80?
when he's got a
80?
50% chance of being right, he'll be wrong 90% of the time. That's the 50-50-90 rule.
Okay.
All right. So seriously, Clark, Macbeth, come on by. We don't discriminate. We think furries are wonderful.
Can you imagine wearing that suit on a day like today?
Wow.
That would be dedication to your.
You know, if he
your
showed
thing.
up today in a
Furriness.
dog suit, you'd almost have to vote for him.
I
wouldn't
think
you?
so.
Not to mention him again during this segment, but John and I were informed, Joe, that when I know you're looking forward to recording Monday Night Sports Talk out here at the Great Minnesota Get Together. Patrick said he's going to bring by the new Star Tribune mascot, Stribby,
Stribby, what a great name.
in full costume. Can
I
you just?
didn't know that.
What?
It's not wearing the costume today. It's tomorrow after it's been, sitting around for a while and just been kind of
Like my football helmet in high school.
exactly
Smelled like
exactly.
perm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Am I going to go right to Doris because I see her arriving?
I
think we should.
Well, we certainly
we've
can.
got
Yeah, we
nothing
can.
but time.
Yeah, we can. We
You
can
might
do
want to
that.
play Here's Today's State Fair Animal
I don't even
for,
see. Oh, there she is.
for her entrance.
All right,
All right.
we can do that as soon as we get her a microphone.
Today's State Fair Animal. Hey, Doris Mold, Hall of Fame member. Can't thank you enough for bringing over today's horses.
They're furries.
So what do we have? Cows. They're cows. And they've always got that kid that wants to stay in show business with the pot of poop. Hi, Doris.
Hello.
Now, these are cows,
They're heifers.
heifers, and they're beautiful looking.
I'm going to sit
seat.
down today.
Doris,
Have
take
a
a load
seat,
off.
yeah.
Take a load off.
Now, who's the young lady in the lead cow, the lead heifer?
The lead heifer.
Yeah, the first-
Lexi.
Lexi, hi, Lexi. Maybe we could get a microphone down to. Okay, there's a microphone. Lexi, where are you from?
I'm from Plainview, Minnesota.
Is this your animal?
No, it is my cousin's heifer.
I see. Okay, and let's get this guy's name. And you are
My name's Blake
Blake. What's your last name?
Stewart,
Blake, where are you from?
Wabasha County.
Okay, and is this your animal?
This is not. I'm just leading her.
Okay, you have two unowned animals
Well,
here.
they're both part of the showcase herd that we
Yeah.
have. And Kristen, who was
Hi, Kristen.
giving you a bad time
Remember
last time, is
Kristen?
here.
Yeah.
We're going to do a little...
That's Kristen. She
yeah.
was here before.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I
You're the
was.
reason why she doesn't have eyebrows on her butterhead. So,
What are you carrying around with all of these cans
Well,
of
it's my
chemicals?
purse, it's my purse, Actually, no, we actually have a show, prep kit here. So I have
see.
show halters, I've got sprays, I've got stuff to make these heifers look beautiful for the show.
Uh-huh.
So we were just hoping that maybe you'd want to play along with us.
Absolutely. I think Rookie would.
Rookie, I think, and we kind of think Kenny, since he's such a big ag guy.
Yeah, he knows. What
he's
stations are
always
you
talking
using?
about the grain trucks and
I'm not moving from this spot.
what's the matter with you, Ken?
Go ahead, Rook.
Gosh,
Dial them up.
Yeah, Rook, you're gonna get a little lesson in how to get an animal ready for
And
the show.
This is what the owners would do prior to the judge.
Right, correct.
Right now, will these two cows be judged?
They are. Did you enter them as part of the open show here?
I did.
Kristen? Okay.
Are they yours?
Yes, they are.
I see. Did you lease them out to strangers to just walk around the fair with?
Well,
or?
not exactly strangers. They do have to. We do have to have a relationship and know what they're going to be doing throughout the summer with these heifers. So,
Okay.
Actually, the one over here was leased out for 4-H. She was in the 4-H show on Saturday, and she had a blue ribbon.
Oh, wonderful.
Really?
What about? Does it have a name?
This one is Florette.
Florette?
Florette, and you remember your good friend Filigrana from
Oh, that's
last week.
Filigrana.
Yes.
Oh, she's back for an
First
encore.
repeat guest.
It's a first ever repeat cow guest.
And she doesn't really have a choice.
Oh, okay.
So we were up with the Minnesota Twins earlier, and we had a showmanship competition between Walner and Jax.
Yes.
And that was kind of interesting to watch those two gentlemen. We told them not to quit their day jobs, so but they did okay.
Well, the way they played in the ninth inning last night, they probably did better here at the fair.
Oh, well, maybe. I didn't catch that. We were busy in the barn.
They blew it in the ninth.
Nice little bit of name dropping there, Doris. I'm proud of you.
All right,
Yeah,
Doris,
well,
set
hey.
it up for us here so we can see the show.
Okay, well, Rookie's got to get... Kristen, if you'd like to direct Rookie on how to get an animal ready.
Okay, you get some spray.
I think I know how to do that.
First thing you do is grab that bucket behind you.
Get a bottle of wine, Matthew.
You got your cigarettes?
Okay.
We don't need any smoking during this. And we also don't need the butt pan back here. This is just in case the heifers make a mess outside of the show ring.
Sure.
So what our lovely assistant Katie is doing right now, she's showing him how to prep his heifer.
Oh.
So he's putting
How you
on
doing,
some
babe?
fly spray to make sure she's calm and comfortable. And
Now,
she
what is
doesn't
he
kick out
spraying
at you.
on her?
Fly spray.
Fly spray.
Fly spray.
Uh-oh.
I see.
I could use a little. Bring that up here, Matthew.
The Kristen, the cow looks like it has wounds on it.
I was going to ask about that.
It's all healed up. It was ringworm, but she's completely healed. It's just that the hair needs to grow back.
It
like
looks
fuller.
like bullet wounds, to be honest
I know.
with you.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it's not bullet wounds.
They brought her
She was
downtown.
not hurt during this. It's just part of a lot of times for livestock they have this.
Sure.
So, Kenny, just how familiar are you with bullet wounds?
I've got one right here. Do you want to see it?
Oh, that is pretty...
Yeah.
Pretty
Rook, you're doing a
obnoxious
great
looking.
job.
We got some final bloom here.
Did you smell it? Did you
Is
smell
there-
it?
Yeah, it
smells
smells
pretty
really good.
Is there a
Yeah,
reason you're only doing one side of the animal?
No, I'm doing the other.
So, Rook, you could use that on your own hair. It might, give it a nice sheen.
I'm having
there.
a bad hair day today. I'll tell you that right
Yeah,
now.
well, with the humidity, yes.
Well, that's a good-looking animal. That's philodendron?
Perfect.
No.
Florette.
Floret.
Floret.
That's right. That's right, Doris. Oh, look at
Yeah,
that.
get
Looking
Rick's-
good. Looking good.
Yeah, you got
That
cow
does smell
spray.
good
Do you
too.
want to have
And
them
it
paint
smells
your
good
toes?
as well, so...
Have them
It
paint
does
your
smell
toes. You
good, I
want to
can-
put some nail polish on?
Oh, boy.
Not on
nail
you.
polish.
The calf.
For these things?
Yes.
Okay, they have nails, Joe and crew.
Oh, isn't that something? Look at that.
Now, we
Wow.
don't do this for every breed of cattle, but because they have black hooves, we
Yes.
might
Does
shine
the
them up
heifer
a
like
little
this?
extra with that spray.
Doris, do you do this for every breed of radio producer as well?
Does
do you
the
not only-
animal does the animal mind this?
And this one
No,
too.
I mean, look at her, Joe. Does she look like she minds it?
No, I guess not. She probably is unaware that polish was just sprayed on her feet. Look at
Yeah.
this. Rook's spraying the
Yeah,
shoe
I
polish
guess,
on her.
Rook can start doing cow pedicures here.
That's right. That's a wonderful looking animal.
You hear that? Perfect.
Now there's
Perfect.
another can of something coming out here. What's this, Kristen?
Aquanet.
Aquanet.
Start up
That
here.
that'll keep the hair in place,
Oh, you
especially
do the little hair on
on a humid day.
Grab that tail,
My
Rookie.
sister used to use Aquanet in about
There you
1971.
go. There you go.
now we need
Hey,
the bucket.
now.
Now
Perfect
we need
time.
the
That guy
bucket.
got in there with the pot in record speed. That's
You
fantastic.
know, I was going to say, and Rookie, you moved awfully quick. That's the fastest I've ever seen you move.
I think she planned that though.
Of
I
course
just
I
when I
did.
was about to grab the tail.
I thought rhododendron was lifting her tail to have Rookie spray the hair.
That's Florida.
Florida.
Oh, huh?
Get that tail
Pump
up.
the tail a
See,
little
when
bit,
you
maybe
grab the
she'll have
tail,
more.
it's like a well handle.
Yes. Pump it a little more.
Just
See,
pump
she's
it.
got some more in there.
Yeah.
No, she's done.
I was going to say, Rook, you're a little timid there with the.
Oops. Coming.
Well,
Go ahead, go
the
ahead.
I'm waiting
tail
for that
ain't
thing to
gonna-
just come and buck me.
No, it's not going to buck you. Just grab the tail and get away from the legs. There, look at that. You got the comb going.
You gotta fluff it. Yes. Do you know how to fluff the
Yeah.
tail?
You were- he's a fluffer.
You were right,
You gotta
Chris.
tease
Trust
the tail.
me.
Kenny, come here and
No.
you gotta back comb the tail.
No, I don't know anything about fluffing.
But we got the Aquanet here. We
I'm
need
usually
you to
the
do that.
fluffy.
It's been a few years.
I haven't fluffed for a while.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, you're a pro. See, you're.
Look
Oh.
at that.
There you
Holy
go.
cow.
I'm sorry. I'm in the way here.
You're ratting the tail.
Kristen, come up here and do that to my beard, would you? No. I'm just
Do it. Yeah, do it. rat his tail
Don't
out.
put that cow thing on my face.
Oh,
Don't put that
Wow,
cow
how
thing
fast he
on my
turns.
face.
All right.
Don't you have a farm you should be at?
I think the next step is that we need to have Rookie learn how to lead the heifer and show off his skill at handling the animal.
I think
Okay,
that's
I really don't have any skill, but
That's
okay.
a wonderful idea.
I don't
Okay.
want to demean what they're doing.
Oh, well, no,
All
Rook.
right, what do I do?
Well, you need
Oh.
to go up towards the head so that here Blake can show you.
Up toward the head. Hi, Blake. How you doing?
Blake's an expert cowhand. He can show you exactly
Yep.
how this is done.
Hi, honey. Do you like me or no?
Oh, there we go.
What do I
He's-
do? Turn it?
Or
Is this,
no.
is this the way
Or
Rook
no.
speaks to his wife?
Yes.
Hi, honey. Do you like me?
Am I leading you?
Oh, that's a
Very
fantastic.
good. All right, Rookie.
Look
Why,
at
why
Rook.
does she trust
Okay,
me?
let's hear it for the Rook.
That's
Why
very
does she
nice.
trust me?
Because
Very
you sprayed
nice.
her down.
Turning a cow around.
Hey, I've got 31 years of marriage and then 4 kids. You got no shot.
Hey, Doris.
Yes,
what
sir.
does cow tipping mean?
Cow tipping means putting the cow on her side.
Oh, so it really would be tipping a cow
Tipping
over.
the cow. And
Doesn't that hurt the cow?
well, you can do it very gently, actually. There's a way to. I maybe should show you sometime.
Why would anyone do that?
Well, for cow tipping.
You're drunk.
You're drunk.
Well, no.
Everything's
Actually,
fun when you're drunk.
actually,
To
Kenny,
work on the underside, or
well, sometimes what we'll do, we'll cast the animal, and that tips them. So you put a rope behind their front shoulders, you run it along their top line, and then you put it around right before their front back legs, and you pull it gently, and they'll tip over.
Really?
And you can use that if you don't have a table to put them on, if you need to trim their hooves
Oh,
or
I
do
see.
things like
Hey,
that.
so there is a reason to do it.
Doris,
There is a
would
reason,
that
yes.
work with my wife?
Yeah, just put a rope around her neck and your legs.
Maybe after a bottle of wine.
Matthew, spin her around. I want to see the other side. I have some questions. I have some serious concerns. How come I can see the ribs on this side and I can't on the other side? And then what's that big bump right in front of her thigh sticking out that looks like a tumor?
It's not a tumor.
It's
No,
not
it's
a
down
tumor.
low.
Not a tumor.
It's
Right.
down low.
I know the one he's looking at.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, that looks like a tumor.
It's not. It's just
not
part
a
of the
tumor.
steak.
Okay, so first of all, dairy animals, you'll see the ribs and you'll see parts of their bones and things stick out that you wouldn't see on a beef animal, because the animal is putting her energy eventually into growth and eventually into milk when she becomes producing. But a beef animal is putting their food into muscle primarily. That's what we're hoping for, and a little more fat than you'd see on a dairy animal, because they're being raised for different purposes. So you're going to see a lot more of the bones on a dairy animal. It's kind of looking at a marathon runner versus a lineman in football.
I see.
Gotcha,
Now,
thank
will they be on? Will they be judged, or have they already been judged?
These heifers have already been
And they're
judged.
winners.
They're winners, of course. We only have winners in the moo booth.
That's right. When does Kristen take them home?
Kristen will be taking them home on Labor Day.
I don't know.
Oh,
I'm
you're
becoming
there for
quite
the whole
attached.
deal, huh?
I'm becoming quite attached here.
Yeah.
Are you going to take her home with you?
I don't think that would work out well at my house.
You have grass in your backyard?
Yes.
The
Okay,
cow,
you're set, Rook.
the cow
Okay.
is eating grass that has spray paint on it.
Am I making the cow nervous?
No, you're not.
She's actually pretty comfortable right now.
Oh, okay.
Even I can.
If she
answer
was
that.
nervous, she would be trying to get away from you.
Where does
She was
Lexi
kind of
go to
more
school?
concerned.
Where does Lexi go to school?
I just graduated from Stewartville High School.
Stewartville. And what are your plans, young lady?
I'm taking a gap year, and then I might go back to college.
All right.
I can confirm I took my gap year starting in '84. I'm still on my gap
Yeah,
year.
it's a 40-year
So
gap.
maybe
40-year
rethink
gap.
that. You're going to end up being a traffic reporter and then working at the fair 7 days out of
Kenny
the
the
year.
traffic kitty.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Doris, as always, it's a highlight of the show, and we have today's State Fair
I was gonna tell
animal.
him you were a dairy princess.
And
Thank you, Joe.
I
Oh,
can't
wait.
wait for the rest of it.
Wait.
We just heard some incredible news.
Yeah.
Former dairy princess. Is that what you just said?
Lexi's the dairy princess from Wabasha County.
This year? Congratulations.
She's a current dairy
Now,
princess.
does that mean you get your head carved in butter?
That's only if I want. That's
So-
only if I want
Were
to.
you second?
Huh?
Were you second place?
No.
Third?
No.
Fourth?
I didn't sign up this year.
Oh, this year you weren't a dairy princess.
I am a dairy princess for my county this year,
But
I didn't do Princess K finalists.
I see.
but didn't
I
go
see.
for the finalist
So
stuff.
you weren't here for the pageantry and That's another thing.
Are you an underachiever, my dear?
If that's what you want to call me, then sure.
All right,
No,
we're
no,
best
don't-
friends.
Don't take that from him.
Asking
Yeah,
the guy
I
that's
was
in his
gonna say-
40th year of his gap.
I was going to say, don't take any bullying
You're talking
from
to a
Kenny.
lifetime traffic reporter.
Yeah, yeah, we could get along.
Lexi, thank you, and it's Kristen.
Yes, not Christine, but Kristen.
Kristen, and who's this?
Katie, and she was the dairy princess from Pine County back in the day as well.
Okay, Katie,
Oh.
congratulations.
And a fellow Jersey queen.
And this
Nice.
fella is
Blake.
Blake. Where are you from, Blake?
Lake City, Minnesota.
Did you go to high school still? Or are you done?
Yeah, I'm a junior.
At Lake City?
Yep.
All right, that'll work.
Home of the.
Well, and I also,
The
if
Lakers.
you're calling out people, I've got
Lakers?
Rick and Grace
Lake
over there
City's
that are part of the
mascot?
entourage. They're just kind of hanging out back in the
Oh,
weeds
they have,
there.
they have an
You
outfit.
forgot-
on,
Tigers.
don't they?
You forgot about this young man over here with the bucket.
Oh, the
Who's
bucket.
the bucket guy?
The guy staying in showbiz.
What's his name?
Ty.
Ty. Good job, Ty. You did a hell of a job there, and thank you
And
very
me?
much.
I-
Brooke,
you know, I
you
had
did
a-
a great job, Brooke.
Look at, I got her cleaning up everything here. Whoa,
Yeah, look
that's
at
a
that.
lot.
Look at, holy moly.
And she ate the grass that had the spray paint.
Why won't she eat grass? Just not
hungry?
moved?
Well, thank you, Doris.
Oh, always a pleasure.
You're a Hall of Fame garage logician. You always do a wonderful job. Thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, you will.
All right.
This portion of the show brought to you by Hoffman Brothers Sod, because we're going to need it. What
All
a
right.
shoot. All right, Blake, I'll give her back to you.
Say, today's the kind of day when the weather might be taking a toll on your garage door up and down, and you want to get the right people over there to schedule a free on-site. Well, that's for a new door. You could schedule a free on-site new door appraisal from Precision Garage Door, the favorite of the GLers. But they serve western Wisconsin and the entire metro area. They don't charge more for Sundays, which is crucial. But they're the best. They take care of the springs, the rollers, and the apps and everything else that you might have. Get a tune. I got to get a tune-up. I keep threatening you to do that, but I'm sorry. I'll probably wait till it breaks. I don't want to do that, so I got to call Precision Door. And if you need a new door, they have them in all price ranges, and the estimates are free. You can have a designer come out and discuss that with Precision Door. Book online at precisiondoormn.com, or you can call Precision Door at 612-263-6985 and schedule that free on-site new door estimate.
I mean,
Not that hot. You're a fine little shade there. Oh, how's that?
Dangling.
Huh? Dangly.
The angle of your dangle.
Equals.
John, are you ready?
Maybe.
All right.
You tell me. Why don't you tell me?
I don't know.
I don't know. Why don't you tell me?
John?
What?
3, 2, 1.
Whoops.
Is that by Spirit? A song by Spirit?
Nope. No,
What?
it's not.
Song by Spirit?
It's a song by John Heidt.
I think that's probably. I just made that up.
I thought for sure you were going to do "I'm an Old Cowhand."
Oh.
Thank you, Johnny Height.
I thought for sure you guys were going to keep enjoying the fine water from our friends at Hoffman
Is that what
Water.
I'm drinking?
That is exactly
Very
what you're
good.
drinking right now.
It's very good.
If you're out here at the Great Minnesota Get-Together
I'm
or
just gonna keep
plan
playing.
on stopping by at some point throughout the course of the next week, make sure you swing by the Hofferman Water and Connecticut booth out here at the Minnesota State Fair. They're still inside the Home Improvement Building, but they have moved locations within that building. They have some great State Fair deals for whole home water treatment systems, and their booth is staffed by local water treatment experts. You can talk to them about your water score and improvement plans for the water inside of your home. I've been a customer for over 7 years now. I'm so happy with the amazing difference that Hofferman Water and Connecticut has made. So if you're dealing with contaminants, hair or skin issues, dingy and stiff laundry, or stains across your home's appliances and fixtures, Hofferman Water and Connecticut can help. Plus, while you're at their booth, you can register to win a 36-inch Omnivore Blackstone griddle. Visit the experts and my friends at Hofferman Water and the Connecticut booth at the Home Improvement Building, or just give Hofferman Water a call directly today to schedule your free water analysis at 612-895-2440, or visit them online at hoffermanwater.com.
Here is John Height in his State Fair remote newsroom.
Thank you, Joe. It is day 5 at the Minnesota State Fair, and as we do, we'll start this newscast with the highlights. Today's concert at the grandstand is the Happy Together Tour.
Oh, I bet that's fun. Seriously, I bet that's fun.
Featuring the Turtles, Jay and the Americans, the Association, Badfinger, the Vogues, and the Cowsills. And because it's music and I'm a geek, I had to look up to see who was still playing with everybody.
Yeah.
How many Cowsills are still Cowsills?
There's actually 4.
Wow.
Yeah, I think we lost one in New Orleans during Katrina. He drowned.
Really?
But he was the one who he had some issues that they were trying to deal with, drug issues and mental health
Who's
issues.
the lineup, John?
Turtles.
I like turtles.
Thank you.
The Turtles do have the 2 main guys, which is great, Howard Kalin and Mark Volman. Remember, they've been around with that band forever, and they were also Flo and Eddie for many years.
That's
so
right.
Very good
What
conglomeration.
was the great song the Cowsills had? Something about the park?
Rain, the Park, and the other
I
things.
love that song.
Yeah.
It was a great
I
song.
love the flower girl. I don't know just why. She simply caught
I bet they
my
do that tonight.
That sounds like early Spinal Tap.
I guarantee you they'll do that tonight. That's probably their biggest
How
hit.
about one of my favorites? Mrs. Brown, you've got to
that's Herman.
That's Herman.
That's Herman. He's
What
not
about,
here this year.
He's not in this show.
What about Let Me Tell You About the Birds?
That's
and
Jewel
the
Akins.
Bees?
That's not in
Jewel
this
Akins.
show either.
You know what? Let's just go look at the band here and see if you guys can get any of these
Why don't you
right.
tell us who's in the show?
Jay and the Americans.
That's a surfing
Come
band.
a little bit closer.
Bingo, we got a winner right here.
Surfers. Yeah.
Cara Mia. Remember Jay Black? He had the great voice in
Jay and the Americans, though, they really had a great song. What the hell was
Cara
it?
Mia?
No.
Cara Mia.
No.
Cara Mia.
If you say it, I'll know it.
I don't know anything about that.
I won't tell you.
Here's the bad part, though. Jay Black is dead.
Well, he was Jay.
He was Jay, and he had the great voice. He was the singer, if you know their stuff.
Now, they did Ballroom Blitz, right?
No, that's somebody else completely, Kenny. The Association is there. They have 2 original members.
Comes Mary.
Along Comes Mary, Wendy,
Yep.
Cherish. They had a
That's
bunch
right.
of hits. Yep.
Yep.
Badfinger has only one original member. That would be Joey Molland, who
He
lives
lives here in
He
the
lives
Twin
in the Twin Cities.
And then along comes Mary.
Cheerleaders called me Badfinger in high school.
Jesus.
I don't know why.
I gotta go. That's
So bad.
I have a question about this, John, and I'm not trying to be a smart aleck.
Yeah,
with,
sure
with
you're
this,
not.
no, with this many groups, they're obviously going to play much shorter sets.
Oh, they
correct?
I'm sure they all come out and do 3 or 4 of the big hits.
Okay.
And that's it.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Plus, remember, their songs back then were 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
true.
the Beatles concert at the Met was about 20 minutes long.
Right.
I saw
And that was too long.
The Turtles have been doing this a long time. I saw them in the late 80s at one of these sorts of concerts.
I bet it was great.
It was wonderful. They were really good.
They probably get some good sidemen with them.
They do, and they were also very funny, if you know anything about the two main guys, Flo and Eddie.
Yeah.
Very funny. It was a very
They
good
tell
show.
jokes or what?
They do tell jokes, yes.
Funny ha-ha or funny...
You know, it's
Funny
funny.
like
Is it dad jokes?
It's funny now that you mention
Yes.
it. Every year at the fair, I've always enjoyed hearing the night's act warming up.
That's a good point,
While
yeah.
we're on the air doing a sound check, and I've yet to hear one
We're
this
too
fair.
early.
Maybe that's it.
It
Yeah,
is.
it is.
It's a
You
3
used to
p.m.
be on
start.
2 to 5.
Maybe that's it, Matt.
Yeah.
It's also Seniors Day at the fair.
Joe, how do you enjoying Seniors Day, Joe?
I do love it.
65 and up get into the fair for $13. That's a $5 savings because tickets are now $18.
Sticking it to the man.
What a ripoff. They ought to let the seniors in for free.
A senior agrees. Excessive heat warning in effect today, if you're not familiar. Hot conditions. We could have heat values up to 107 in the Twin Cities metro.
Who started this feels like BS? When it's windy,
That
are you
was
supposed
feels
to
like-
say, boy, it feels windy out? Well, it is what it is.
89.
I'm outraged.
What's the heat index, Rook?
Excessive heat warning.
Yeah,
Still
you don't
trying
know.
to find it,
Okay,
yeah.
well, let me know if
Hey,
you catch
John,
up.
does your newscast have a sponsorship by chance?
Oh, it does. It's brought to you by the North American. Oh, God.
North American Banking Company,
Yeah,
online at
thank you.
nabanco.com.
I was just going to get there. North American Banking Company.
All good.
That heat warning index, whatever it is, excessive heat warning, till 8.
Yeah, but we
yeah,
had-
it says right here, warning.
Didn't we
Josie,
have somebody
warning.
go down just over here
We
when we
did.
first started?
Well,
Yeah.
you know, that
I
could
think
have
that was
been-
an older woman that probably just didn't have enough.
Older than us?
You're going to
Yes.
lose a few every now and then. It just happens.
The Salvation Army is opening cooling centers across the Twin Cities metro to help out during this excessive heat
Oh, there's a nice
warning.
breeze. There's a nice breeze.
Oh, that feels good.
Although if I see any babies in distress, they're being brought right in here.
You're putting them in the hopper?
Yeah.
Okay.
The nonprofit says all of its Twin Cities service centers will be available this week for those looking to escape the heat. Those centers, if you're wondering, are in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Maplewood, and Brooklyn Park. They'll be open during normal business hours Monday through Friday.
Well, then that's going to have to call for this, is it not? Isn't it time for Operation Stay Cool here in Garage Logic?
Get together. Let's get together.
You're
stay
listening to
cool.
continuing coverage
That's right.
of Operation Stay Cool on the Garage Logic Radio Network.
Boom, boom, boom.
Very dramatic. Minneapolis City Councilor Andrea Jenkins is hosting another community meeting on crime prevention and safety today, the second such meeting in the last week. A week ago, 33-year-old Jabron Hull was shot at a homeless encampment in the 8th Ward. That same day, Jenkins hosted a community meeting to address encampments, where advocates who work directly with those in homeless encampments say there aren't enough city and county services to help. Others said some people say they don't want to be helped and don't want to leave the camps. Jenkins says the issue is complicated, but promised to work toward a resolution.
All right, chumps, let's do this. Andrea Jenkins.
Well, you know what? I was spacing out there. What did you just read about camps? Because I have a story.
Which part do you
I
have,
was
Kenny?
told over the weekend that a bunch of residents in South Minneapolis, did you just read this? 4th and 31st fought back and moved a bunch of campers
I
out
did
of
not
there.
read that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's pretty bold.
Residents got together, and I believe it was 4th Avenue South and 31st. That's just south of Lake Street, east side of 35W. They were starting to set up camp, and the residents said, not in our neighborhood.
Good.
And
Why don't more neighbors do that?
That's what I thought.
Wait
yeah.
till Mary gets a hold of him, Ken, and she charges the residents.
Yeah.
From the Pioneer Press. That's you do a column
I
for them.
understand.
Yeah. After 102 years, and I may get this name pronounced wrong if anybody knows, help me out. 102 years with the Raduns family at the helm, Stillwater Motors is in the rearview mirror. Get it? That's kind of writing we find in your paper.
And right out there in Stillwater, off of 36.
In its place is Cornerstone Chevrolet Stillwater. The Cornerstone Auto Group, which is also a family-owned operation, has 5 dealership locations near the metro area, and its 6th Cornerstone Chevrolet Stillwater kicked off its grand opening last week with an official ribbon-cutting ceremony. The name on the front of the store has changed, but the folks who are there, Rob Powell, who's the CEO of Cornerstone, said nearly all of Stillwater Motors staff has stayed on, and the community has received the new ownership with open arms. They expect new improvements to the dealership at 5900 Stillwater Boulevard, including software and technology upgrades. And most noteworthy, the inventory, which has grown nearly 4 times thanks to Cornerstone.
I can see it right now.
Locales.
Rookie for Cornerstone Chevrolet.
Okay, thank
Did it
you.
make the news because they had held out as just a family-owned dealership?
Yes, because
and
they
it
had
didn't
it for
own
so long.
other stores. They
Correct.
just owned that one, I think.
All right.
102 years.
I was going to ask you if you were getting paid for that because it sounded like a press release to me.
No, they're a long-time family. You
All
don't
right.
see that anymore.
No, you're right.
You
Yep.
don't. Chris, are we doing all news? I mean, do you want
that kind of like the
do you want me to
Polad
break,
family?
or
Yeah.
Okay.
But they sold their dealerships.
Just keep going?
They sold
Just
those?
keep going.
I did not know that.
Keep going, I think.
Yeah.
In international stuff, Israel has said it carried out a wave of preemptive strikes across southern Lebanon to thwart a large-scale rocket and drone attack by Hezbollah. Jets destroyed thousands of the Iran-backed army group's rocket launchers Sunday morning. According to Israel, Hezbollah and its allies said 3 fighters had been killed. Former President Trump Sunday evening raising the possibility of skipping the upcoming ABC News debate against Vice President Kamala Harris because of the network's what he called apparent bias against him. He pointed to an interview from Sunday with Texas Congressman Tom Cotton. Earlier this month, Trump said he agreed to the September 10 debate, expressed willingness to do that and 2 more debates against Harris on other networks. Now the presidential campaigns are engaged in a dispute over the rules of this debate. The Trump campaign wants microphones to be muted when the candidate is not speaking. However, Harris's campaign is pushing for the microphones to be kept open, a typical feature of presidential debates, a position Trump previously had held.
Should that be negotiable, Joe?
What should be?
Did you hear
Negotiate
the last
microphones
The
or
debate.
Yeah.
Did you hear the dude's story?
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
Should the network might be negotiable?
I personally don't think the candidates should have any say in it.
Yeah, just show up.
Show up, yeah. Give it your best shot.
Yeah.
Kentucky State Fair was going on last week. They had a bit of an issue. They have a miniature contest. Maybe they probably have one here too, right? Where they build little miniatures, houses, etc.
Yeah, I'm sure you could probably enter that in.
Okay, full disclosure.
Yeah.
I started to laugh because I thought it was a different kind of contest when you said a
Yeah,
miniature.
I was going to ask if Matthew was enrolled.
Well, that's
Enrolled. I'm won 4 years in a row. Still trying.
The trophies to prove it.
Yes, exactly.
The third place winner in the Kentucky miniature contest. Now, this is the words of the fair. I have to use it. It was removed, his third place ribbon, because it was inappropriate.
You got to get
see,
the
I got
foghorn.
it
Get
right
the
here.
foghorn.
You're wondering, I'm guessing, what was inappropriate
What
about it.
what was inappropriate about it?
It was a simple design. It was
Yeah.
done by Preston Powling.
Sure.
The miniature scene was a room with white walls, a black leather couch in the corner, a wooden office desk, a computer, and a desk chair.
Yeah.
It was a smaller version of something that's online. Kenny, you might be able to tell us about this, called the Casting Couch, which is a site on
John,
pornographic websites.
I don't go that deep in the tabs, John.
What does this
maybe
mean?
you can explain it.
Well,
Casting couch.
there's a thing apparently on pornography sites, Joe, called the Casting Couch, and actresses come in and act like
They get interviewed
They
for the job.
said, "I'd like to be in movies," and then you know
And
what
this
happens.
guy did this in miniature?
In miniature, yes.
Yeah.
And he named.
but wait a minute,
His
wait a
mistake was he named it that. Also.
Oh, okay.
Well-
I was just about to ask because unless you're going,
Was he third place finisher?
He was
Third
third
get
place.
hell with him. He didn't win.
Unless you've got those frequent flyer miles. Is that what you were saying, Reeves?
No, I was going to say, how did anyone know that that's what it was? But if John just said that's
Got
what
it,
he called
got
it.
it.
Okay, then that.
He did some other ones too, including one. Now this doesn't fit at all with Casting Couch. We're all familiar. We have kids with Goodnight Moon, the book, right?
Oh, I
Great
love
book,
that
great
story.
book.
I
Yeah.
read it every day.
He got a craftsmanship award for his miniature based on that book. And he also won for a scene from AMC's The Walking Dead. He made a miniature of that.
So he has a variety of interests.
yes.
The same guy did that?
Yeah, he did all 3 of those.
Oh,
And
so he won anyway.
he won awards for everything, pretty much. So
That's great.
he's
Love the sweater. Love
you-
the sweater.
if
It
you
wasn't a sweater.
if you'd like to look him up, he is called the Bearded Miniaturist.
Oh,
And-
I think I will look him up.
yeah, he was one of the artists on Best in Miniature I'm sure you've all seen this. It's a television competition show.
So you just whip up a bunch of crap, throw it out there, see what sticks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers in California discovered $5 million worth of methamphetamine disguised as watermelons.
Really?
Last week.
Were they buried in the watermelon?
No, they were. They win the Ding Ding Award of the week because it was plastic paper.
Yeah.
And it was painted to look like watermelons,
Well,
and it was
that's ding ding.
It was a whole crate full of them, and they were all full of meth.
Is there a place to get old school watermelon with the seeds? It's my contention that tastes way better than seedless watermelon.
I agree.
I think you guys are
Well,
both crazy.
every watermelon we have at our house has seeds in it.
Where does she get it? I need to know.
Lons or Kowalski's.
All right. Because there's a huge difference, John.
No, there's not.
We should.
Oh, plus it's fun to spit them.
We'll bring it. We should bring a couple tomorrow.
Should have a contest.
And have a contest.
That'd be fun.
I can eat some watermelon.
You like spitting watermelon?
You know, watermelon's mostly water.
What?
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Are you, seriously?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
You like a nice watermelon,
quick
Joey?
question. Quick question for you, Joe.
Uh-huh.
Is it hot enough for you?
I like it a lot. This doesn't bother me. Are you kidding me? Tomorrow it'll be 20 degrees cooler.
You're voting for Kamala and Walls, aren't you?
That escalated quickly.
You could have just as well said that.
That escalated.
You are an enemy of this
For
state.
those who were very heartened by the DNC convention, it was very uplifting. It was upbeat. It was
fun.
It sent a message of joy and all of the other things. That's fine. But I'm wondering, is anybody just a little bit curious as to what she'd actually do as president?
She has successfully avoided
Is
that
anyone
question.
curious at all? This is day 38, I believe.
Is that where we are? 38?
I believe so.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I think it's day 38, and we don't have a clue.
No,
what
we do.
Well, we do, but how about some specifics and say,
Throw
let's
me a
go-
bone.
Let's go here, because everything so far has just been boilerplate platitudes. There's been no serious stuff.
Did you guys see there was a video that went viral? And it was Walls walking out on the stage, and then it pans to when Chris Farley came out in the Letterman show.
Yes.
I watched that
Wonderful.
10,000 times
It's
over the
wonderful.
weekend.
In the
He's doing the
dumpster.
cartwheel,
Yeah.
and he throws the guy in the dumpster. Oh, that
You
was
think
so
that was
funny.
prearranged?
What?
He threw the guy in the dumpster?
No.
I think it was.
It may have been. He said, I'm going to make a bigger. Because if somebody was throwing me into a dumpster, even if it was Chris Farley, I'd be like, okay.
Would you be like that?
Something similar. Down by the river. But then he had to give him oxygen when he sat down with Dave. He was huffing and puffing.
You know what I like about Renewal by Anderson windows?
You can see through them.
Well, not only can you see through them, but on a day like today, when you shut them, they're shut. You're preserving your AC. Your AC isn't leaking outside. Renewal by Anderson windows are the best. So are their entry doors. And right now, there's a state fair sale. EcoFund's got a state fair sale. Renewal by Anderson has a state fair sale. If you're smart, you get a state fair sale. Buy a window and get one 40% off. Then buy another one and get one 40% off. And no money down, no monthly payments, and no interest for 12 months. These are the Renewal's Acclaim window replacements with Anderson engineering and innovation present in every component. These babies are beautiful, they're durable, and they work. And if you need new doors, State Fair sale pricing is also good on the new ensemble entry doors, exclusively from Renewal by Anderson, and they seal the weather tight. So whether you need windows, patio doors, or entry doors, Renewal by Anderson has the best products and the best service. Learn more at renewalbyanderson.com/Garage Logic or call Renewal by Anderson at 651-705-6931.
some party at O'Gara's in the back room.
No, but I mean back in the day, 50 years ago.
Okay, we got a rat. Let's go here. Here we go.
Kenny's in a hurry.
Yep.
All right. Just let me know when you guys are ready. John, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yes, sir. All right, here we go. And this portion of Garage Logic Live at the Minnesota State Fair is brought to you by our friends at Donnelly Stucco and Exteriors.
No. Oh, I love that. I recognize that tune.
As far as our lawyers are concerned, you do not recognize that song, John, Joe. Hey, I'm very, very excited to welcome our newest partner, ShermanPoleBuildings.com. Their second week on with us at GL, and you got a lot of things we can call them. Pole sheds, that's what I call mine, or just a shed, a pole barn. Sherman Buildings, though, they have the right term. They call them exactly what they are, toy boxes. And the great thing about Sherman Buildings, they come however you want them to. Whatever size fits your needs, whatever style. It could be simple like mine, just some poles, a traditional post frame building, or it could be built with studs and steel, concrete floor, electrical, plumbing, HVAC, the whole deal, insulation. Maybe throw a little bed out there in case you get in trouble with the bride. Think of these buildings from Sherman Buildings as the Swiss Army knife of buildings. Your toy box can be customized for anything your imagination can come up with.
I so want one.
Yeah.
How about playing bridge with the wife?
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, I guess you could let her out there if you want.
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah,
those are fun times.
That's not against the law. ShermanPoleBuildings.com is where you get started. They can put it wherever you need it, your backyard, the weekend getaway spot, doesn't matter. 40 years of expert craftsmanship. You know you're hooking up with the best in the business. Log on to ShermanPoleBuildings.com. Sherman Buildings, quality elections.
Hey now.
Quality elections.
Did I just say elections?
You did.
I think I meant to say quality erections since 1976.
As in a building being erected.
There you go.
You know,
Mayor.
some nice
There you
GLers.
And if you have any more questions for Kenny, he'd gladly take those here just in a moment.
Right.
Say,
I was just going to say, some nice GLers dropped off some mini donuts.
oh, yeah.
Fresh mini donuts. And I did knock a couple down. I haven't had a mini donut in a long time. They were very delicious.
Good.
Thank you, fellas.
Yeah. Say, only because they come to us all the way from the Lymans, and it's courtesy of Renewal by Anderson. The traveling Lymans are on their way to Cleveland, Ohio. They have some appointments there. We're getting Jessica back on the road, and they have sent along this day, Chris.
You talking about August 26th?
Chris, it was on this day.
Yes, sir.
What's this day?
August 26th.
In 1731, Frenchman Pierre La Vérendrye and his voyageurs landed at Grand Portage and began a fur trading expedition into the region west of the Great Lakes. La Vérendrye eventually established a trading post, Fort St. Charles, on Lake of the Woods.
Ha!
And it was on this day.
We only had two on 826?
No, I just said it was on
But you
this
said and.
I used an and.
Okay.
On
Like you
this-
use it at the end of a sentence structure, like when you write.
It was on this day.
Yes, sir. 826.
In 1848. The Stillwater Convention petitioned Congress to establish the territory of Minnesota. Wisconsin's recent admission into the Union meant that settlers in the area between the Mississippi and St. Croix were without a government. Minnesota Territory would be officially recognized on March 3rd, 1849. And on this day,
August 26th.
in the year 2000, so 24 years ago,
Yep.
on Women's Equality Day, the Minnesota Women's Suffrage Memorial was dedicated at the state capitol. It was called Garden of Time, Landscape of Change. The memorial was planted with native grasses and flowers and featured a 100-foot-tall trellis imprinted with names of important suffrage leaders in the state's history. That was on this day.
Wow.
24 years ago. I don't know where that is on the grounds. I would imagine it still stands. Maybe it's indoors. I don't know. But isn't that something?
That is quite something, Joe.
It was
It's
on this very
all of that.
day.
All of that happened on this day.
And if you want to stay tuned, we're going to have Monday Night Sports Talk actually today on a Monday.
Which is, I don't think has happened in at least a month.
It's been about a month since he's been available on a Monday.
And he is ready to go.
I hope so. Here we go.
All right. GLers, do us a favor if you wouldn't mind. For those of you that haven't done so yet, you should join the thousands of subscribers that we have on the Garage Logic YouTube channel, because on that YouTube channel, we are posting daily content for your amusement. It's full segments, video shorts, behind-the-scenes footage, all sorts of stuff is there for you. And thanks to all of you, by the way. Our YouTube numbers are on fire right now, so thanks for all of you that are participating and commenting and sharing. It's been really, really helpful. And if you haven't done so yet, sign up for the Daily Logician. It's an email. It comes right to your inbox. It includes the most recent episode of the Garage Logic podcast and also a weekly note directly from the mayor himself. Day 3 in the books. We'll be back here live at the Minnesota State Fair tomorrow starting at noon. We'll see you then.